don't want to spend too much time on the evolutionary, my view of evolutionary leadership, but I just thought I would share a few principles as you embark on this journey together with us. One is that the shift leadership that we need to see that really evolves our planet is sourced from our souls. And so that we're going to be going into that is like, how can you source your leadership from literally the template of what you created this incarnation to do. It's your higher intention for being, your soul intentions, and aligning your businesses, your nonprofits, your work, your alliance building with that deepest intention for your incarnation. And when you do, it opens up a lot of energy and potential. We're also going to go into what I call right notification. And this is another way to think of marketing. It's like, how do you take that soul intention and then put language around it and identity around it and make it magnetic so that other people want to participate with you. So there's a whole spiritual basis to marketing that's really about right notification, speaking into the deepest listening of the people you're here to serve, the people you're here to work with, and being able to do that. So that principle connects to a third principle of communicating from your depth, so that people can really hear who you are, why you're doing what you're doing. And so your leadership is totally authentic. There's nothing manipulative about it. It's really like you're speaking into the soul of another person with clarity, with vulnerability, with passion, with truth, with a commitment to sharing what you know powerfully and what you don't know vulnerably and humbly. And when you do that, it enrolls people. They want to work with you. They trust you. And it connects to this another principle that is really important, of total integrity. One of my key mentors really said that integrity, if you don't have total integrity, you're constantly creating energy leaks. So any little deception, any little lie that you tell, any ways that you teach one thing and then do something else behind the scenes become leaks of your energy and potential. So total integrity as a leader means that there's an alignment between who you say you are and what you do, and you keeping your word, and you basically plugging all those little energy leaks so that you have your full energy available to move forward. Another principle that I think is important in evolutionary leadership is the marriage of evolving yourself and evolving your capacity for action. It's like two wings of a bird, and that if a bird's going to kind of fly out of balance if they're not evolved together. And sometimes on a spiritual path, we can get overdeveloped in our inner skills and our inner disciplines and clarity, and underdeveloped in action realm of our capacity to take clear and focused action and get results. And there's a kind of a noticing sometimes, or titrating, when am I getting too far in one direction or the other? Like for me, early on, before I launched a Shift Network, I had more time for the deep inward piece, and that's been harder and harder to carve out. So I have to build that into my schedule further out in advance and really prioritize that, because otherwise I keep developing more on the action side and the implementation, but not enough in the deepening of consciousness and being. So as shift leaders, we need to really be equally committed to both of those. Another key aspect of that I just wanted to surface was just around the balance of mission or manifesting your vision with the enjoyment of your life and the cycles of restoration. It's something we'll talk about that Sherry and Susan are very adept with and are going to help guide you in. It's like to be passionately committed to manifest what you're here to manifest and give it your all, but also to be really conscious about putting limits on that so that you have the cycles of restoration and being, and the kind of are the soil out of which all of the fruits and harvests that comes in your life is. So really prioritizing that. So it's easy to get out of balance when you have a strong sense of mission. There was a time after the 3 years of launching Shift Network that I've been working 70, 80-hour work weeks, and I had to make a public commitment to the whole list that I would not work more than 45 hours a week for 4 months. And it kind of forced me into a discipline of containing and balancing, which ultimately got me back on track with what Shift really wants to be. So that means like walking our talk, if we're talking about balance, to really, we're taking our own medicine. Another key principle that I just wanted to highlight here is just how important it is to build a dream team around you. And that doesn't necessarily mean all the people are implementing. It's people who are holding your dream with you, which you can each be for each other in the course of this year. It's like when you hear somebody else's dream, you are blessing it, you're helping it, you're empowering it with your love, with your blessing power as an individual. I was just at Saturday, I was at a memorial for a truly remarkable man named Dinan, who grew up in Watts. He's part of the Black empowerment movement. He became an eco-philosopher, poet. And what was so clear is how he totally blessed and mentored hundreds of people in being something bigger, mainly just because he would love them and appreciate them. So as you're building your own dream, also your capacity to bless, honor, and appreciate the dreams of others and the missions of others also creates more of a team around you that's holding your dream. And this connects to another principle, which is mentorship. Is like, to really manifest as a leader on the highest level, you have to be constantly mentoring people to fill in whatever you were able to do last. So, when I started Shift, there was just me, and now there's 50 people on the team and 50 faculty. So I have to constantly be mentoring people to fill in underneath me for the things that I no longer need to do. And so this principle of like developing your skill as a mentor to others is really central as well. And then a couple other just quickie things, a couple other principles. One is to always be designing for quick wins. Like how can you get to a win that then is going to build momentum and energy and enthusiasm for people? So not necessarily, waiting for a year to have something that's like, wow, here's a breakthrough, but getting to a milestone and celebrating that is part of like keeping your energy and the energy of other people high. And the final, I just had these 10 principles I wanted to set things off with. It was just turning potential competitors into niche mates is something that George Howe has always taught, and I found is super valuable. That the more similar someone else's mission is to yours, the more important it is that you actually develop real rapport with them and a real allyship, because they're going to be the people who you can collaborate most with. So it's shifting out of the competitive paradigm, which is all sourced out of ultimately a fear-based paradigm, the one that really says, look, we all incarnated with soul missions that are complementary, and the more you can find the people who have complementary missions, the quicker you're going to be able to get on your feet and manifest things at the highest level. So, it's been interesting. Early on, I'll confess, there were several different groups that I did have a competitive energy internally with, and they did with Shift Network as well. And some of those have turned into our strongest allies, and long-term, they might be the most important keys to our success. So I really took some rewiring of my own brain and natural tendencies to kind of see a threat or a danger to really see an opportunity with everybody that might be doing something similar. And the more you can dial in your unique soul mission, the less likely you are to get into the competitive thinking, because ultimately all of our soul missions are unique. And so when you really get that granular and manifest it through businesses, nonprofits, whatever books, whatever you're here to manifest, then you're gonna more naturally see the synergies with other people, rather than if you're just thinking broad categories, it can sometimes feel more competitive out there. So anyway, those are 10 quick principles that I can share more as we go. But I just wanted to share a bit to kick things off and bless you and offer my gratitude to you for your willingness to show up, to make a strong commitment, to take a stand for who you are and what you're here to bring in. And I know a few of you, and I know how important each of your work is. So I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you and really feel and bless and honor and empower with everything we've got you to shine at the highest possible level.